Directed by Wes Ball, Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials is the second installment in the Maze Runner film series, based on the novel series by James Dashner. The film continues the story of Thomas, played by Dylan O'Brien, and his fellow Gladers following their escape from the maze. The film opens with Thomas, Newt, played by Thomas Brodie-Sangster, Miho, played by Ki-Hong Lee, Teresa, played by Kaya Scodelario, and other survivors being rescued by a mysterious organization known as WCKD, World Catastrophe Killzone Department, led by Jansen, played by Aidan Gillen. They are taken to a secure facility where they meet other survivors from different mazes. Thomas becomes suspicious of their rescuers' intentions and, along with his friends, discovers that WCKD is experimenting on them to find a cure for the flare, a viral disease that has ravaged the world. Thomas and the group decide to escape the facility and venture into the Scorch, a desolate landscape ravaged by solar flares and filled with dangers including the Cranks, humans infected by the flare virus who have turned into zombie-like creatures. Their goal is to find resistance fighters known as the Right Arm, who are battling against WCKD's oppressive regime. During their journey through the Scorch, the group faces numerous challenges and threats. They encounter a band of cranks led by Jorge, played by Giancarlo Esposito, and Brenda, played by Rosa Salazar, who initially capture them but eventually become allies. Together, they continue the journey to find the Right Arm. The group eventually finds the Right Arm's camp, led by Vince, played by Barry Pepper. However, their relief is short-lived as WCKD, led by Jansen, locates the camp and launches an assault. In the ensuing battle, WCKD captures several members of the group, including Miho. The film ends with Thomas vowing to rescue Miho and the others from WCKD. The Gladers, now part of the Right Arm resistance, prepare for a bigger battle against WCKD. Maze Runner, The Death Cure, the third and final installment in the series, continues the story of Thomas and his friends as they embark on their most dangerous mission yet. Directed by Wes Ball, the film adapts the final book of James Dashner's series. The film opens with Thomas, Newt, and others launching a daring mission to rescue Miho, who is being held by WCKD in a moving train. While they successfully free other captives, Miho is not among them, having been taken to WCKD's last city, a fortified stronghold. Determined to save Miho, Thomas and his group make their way to the last city. On the outskirts, they encounter Brenda and Jorge, who help them infiltrate the city. Inside, they find a society starkly divided between the affluent, who live within the walls, and the infected and impoverished masses outside. Thomas and his friends face significant challenges navigating the city and avoiding WCKD's security. They reconnect with Teresa, who is now working with WCKD's leader, Ava Page, played by Patricia Clarkson, and Dr. Jansen, in developing a cure for the flare. Teresa believes the cure justifies WCKD's methods, creating a moral conflict between her and Thomas. The group's efforts to rescue Miho lead them to discover WCKD's laboratory, where they find Miho and other immune children being subjected to cruel experiments. A battle ensues between the Gladers and WCKD's forces, with the resistance fighters led by Vince also joining the fight. During the climax, Thomas confronts Jansen and faces a personal battle with Teresa, who ultimately chooses to help Thomas. The city descends into chaos as the infected breach its walls, and WCKD's regime collapses. The film concludes with the surviving characters, including Thomas, Newt, and Miho, finding a safe haven, a paradise island where they can live free from the flare and WCKD's control. The series ends on a hopeful note, with the characters looking forward to building a new life in this sanctuary. In the Scorch Trials, the narrative evolves from the claustrophobic maze to the expansive, desolate Scorch. This transition symbolizes the characters' growth and the broadening of the story's scope. The Scorch Trials are not just physical challenges, they represent the psychological and ethical trials the characters endure. They face betrayal, loss, and the harsh reality of the world outside the maze. The introduction of new characters like Brenda and Jorge adds complexity to the group dynamics, bringing in new perspectives and alliances. The revelation of WCKD's true nature and their experiments on the immune children, including the Gladers, adds a layer of moral ambiguity to the story. WCKD's motto, "WCKD is good," is a chilling reminder of how noble intentions can lead to unethical actions. The film explores the theme of ends justifying means, especially in a world desperate for survival. The Death Cure brings the trilogy to a close with a focus on resolution and the fight against oppression. The film raises the stakes, placing the characters in the heart of WCKD's stronghold. Thomas's character is pushed to his limits, forcing him to make difficult decisions that test his morals and resolve. His confrontation with Teresa over the ethics of WCKD's experiments highlights the theme of sacrifice and the greater good. The Siege of the Last City serves as the climax of not just the film but the entire series. It's a culmination of the Gladers' journey, from their initial struggles in the maze to their rebellion against WCKD. The action sequences in the city are intense and visually striking, reflecting the chaos and desperation of a society on the brink of collapse. The film concludes with a message of hope and rebirth. The safe haven, free from the virus and WCKD's control, offers a chance for a new beginning. However, the loss and sacrifices endured by the characters linger, adding a bittersweet tone to the ending. The conclusion resonates with the overarching theme of the trilogy, the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity.